My friend, I ask you today to pause for a moment and consider salt, that little overlooked mineral that sits quietly on your kitchen shelf. That simple, crystalline powder, that thing we use without thinking, take for granted, ignore until it's gone. Then, suddenly, everything tastes bland, dull, lifeless. What is salt? To the untrained eye, it's nothing but a seasoning, a pinch of flavor. But to the wise, salt is something far greater. It is a symbol of the essential, the small force that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. And so I tell you now, in every one of us, there exists a power exactly like salt. A power that may seem small, a power that may be invisible to the crowd, a power others may underestimate. But it is that very thing, hidden, underestimated, overlooked, that holds the ability to transform your life. Let me explain. You see, salt does not demand attention. It does not dominate the dish. It does not show off. But when it is missing, everything suffers. Food loses its taste. The experience of eating becomes a chore instead of a joy. Salt, in its humility, holds power. And power in humility is the rarest form of greatness. In the same way, your gifts may not be loud, your strength may not roar, your vision may not be applauded by the world. But if it is true, if it is real, if it is yours, it carries the seasoning that brings your purpose to life. Never underestimate the quiet contributions. The world has taught us to chase the loud things, applause, attention, validation, like followers' headlines. But salt reminds us it's not the noise that matters. It's the effect. It's the impact. You may walk into a room and feel invisible, but so does salt, my friend. And yet, without it, even the most luxurious meal collapses into mediocrity. What's the lesson? Be salt. Be essential. You don't have to dominate. You just have to be indispensable. There are two types of people in the world: those who chase glamour and those who chase purpose. Those who chase appearance and those who chase essence. One is seasonal, the other is eternal. Salt endures. It has preserved food through centuries. It has outlived kings, empires, civilizations. When the Roman soldiers were paid, it wasn't always in coin. It was often in salt. That's where the word salary came from. That's right, salt was a currency. Are you beginning to see the truth? That which seems small may hold the greatest value. That which others ignore may be the very thing that nourishes generations. Now let me take this even deeper. Salt doesn't just add flavor. It preserves. It protects. It keeps what matters from decay. And isn't that exactly what your purpose is meant to do? You were not born to simply add flavor to your life. You were born to preserve what is eternal: love, truth, honor, faith, vision, discipline, integrity. The world around you may rot, but if you carry the spirit of salt, you remain. You endure. You protect. This is why the greatest people you've ever known were not always the loudest, but they were the ones you could count on. They were consistent, steady, reliable, the kind of person who shows up when it matters. Be that. Let your presence be quiet but powerful. Let your character be like salt, unshakable, unmovable, untouchable by time. Because here is the truth: salt does not change based on who tastes it. Salt is salt. It remains the same whether a king consumes it or a beggar. And so must you. You must build a mind so clear, a purpose so strong, and a faith so deep that nothing around you can dilute you. You were not created to be sugar, changing, melting, sweet for the crowd. You were created to be salt, firm, grounded, transforming everything around you. You say you want to change the world. Then be salt in a world that's lost its taste for truth. Be salt when everyone else chooses lies. Be salt when it's easier to conform, easier to blend in, easier to pretend. Be the person who keeps things from spoiling. Be the person who walks into a toxic situation and makes it better, not by overpowering, not by shouting, but by simply being exactly who you are. There is power in consistency. There is power in identity. There is power in simplicity. Salt doesn't beg. It doesn't scream. It simply does its job. Do yours. Now let me tell you something else. Salt is tough. It survives extreme conditions. It is forged in the earth under pressure and heat and time. Just like you. You have been through pain. You have walked through storms. You have faced doubt. You have tasted failure. But understand this: all those things were not breaking you. They were forming you. They were refining you into something powerful, something real. Something necessary. Stop cursing your struggle. Your struggle made you salty. And I don't mean bitter, I mean valuable. You see, refined salt is clean, sharp, potent. But to get to that stage, it has to be purified. And purification is a process of pressure and pain. Don't resist it. Life is not meant to be easy. It's meant to prepare you. What good is unrefined salt? It cannot serve. It cannot preserve. It cannot fulfill its purpose. The same is true for the person who has not been tested. Don't run from the fire. The fire is what brings out the power inside of you. The fire is what makes your purpose unstoppable. The fire is what gives you weight in the world. You see, we are not here to be temporary. We are here to last. And when I say that, I don't just mean our names. I mean our impact. I mean the way we live. The way we walk into a room and elevate the atmosphere. The way we carry love. The way we carry courage. The way we speak life over the dead places of this world. Salt is not decoration. It is function. So I ask you, are you spending your life decorating yourself for others? Or are you functioning in your purpose? If no one sees you, will you still show up? If no one applauds you, will you still serve? If no one celebrates you, will you still love? Because this is the power of salt. It works in silence. It operates behind the scenes. It does its job without demand for attention. But its results, unmistakable. If you can live that way, if you can build your mind like salt, quiet, steady, necessary, you will become someone the world cannot forget. They may not remember your face, but they will never forget the feeling they had in your presence. Just like a dish seasoned with salt, they may not see what made it taste so good, but they'll know something was there. Something essential, something different, something that elevated everything. Become that. I don't care where you were born. I don't care how many mistakes you've made. I don't care what's been said about you. You have salt in your spirit. You have the power to enhance, to preserve, to heal, to uplift, to change the flavor of the environment around you. But only if you believe it. Only if you activate it. Only if you stop trying to be sugar and start being salt. There's one more thing I want to tell you. Salt never works alone. It dissolves. It gives itself. It becomes one with the thing it's meant to serve. That's leadership. That's love. That's legacy. You're not here to stay separate from the world. You're here to transform it from the inside out, to become part of something greater, to lose your ego and embrace your mission. It's not about you. It's about the effect of you. How do you know if you've lived well? Simple. Did you leave others better than you found them? Did you add value? Did you make the world taste better? That is the test of salt. And that, my friend, is the test of a meaningful life. So go, be bold, be invisible, be quiet, be powerful, be salt. And never again underestimate the power of what seems small, because in the end, it's always the smallest things that make the biggest difference. And those who understand this, they change the world. They change relationships. They change families. They change cultures, not with loud speeches or grand announcements, but with the consistency of character, with truth lived out in the day, today, with a standard so high that even in silence, they convict the hearts of others to rise up. Do you hear what I'm saying? You don't have to chase influence when you carry essence. You don't have to market yourself when you carry meaning. The world is starving, not for more noise, but for depth. And depth comes from substance. Salt is substance. We've built a culture on sugar, temporary highs, artificial satisfaction, quick likes, instant validation. But sugar fades. It spikes you, then crashes you. It promises pleasure, but steals your peace. Sugar feeds the body, salt feeds the soul. When you begin to live with purpose, with principle, with unshakable conviction, you become the salt in a world addicted to sweetness. You may not always be welcome at first. Salt stings in wounds, but healing always starts with a sting. So don't shrink when your presence reveals what others have been avoiding. Don't apologize for being sharp, for being true, for being pure. The world needs people who can both cleanse and season, both purify and empower. Look around you. We have millions of people talking, and almost none saying something worth listening to. We have millions posting, but few contributing. We have movements with noise and no soul. And what's the result? Decay, spoilage, corruption. Now is not the time to be passive. Now is the time to preserve what still has value. Your generation is the guardian of truth. You were not born by accident. You are here now because salt is needed now. Do not waste your energy trying to be what you're not. Focus your mind like a laser on what is real and eternal. Decide who you are. Decide what you stand for. Then stand there like a pillar, unmoved, unwavering, grounded in principle. Salt does not adapt to the dish. It transforms it. That's the difference between influence and identity. Too many today want to be liked. But salt wasn't created to be liked. Salt was created to fulfill a function. Ask yourself, do you want to be liked or do you want to be legendary? Legends are not made by popularity. They are made by purity of purpose. I would rather walk into a room and offend every lie with the truth I carry than melt into the background trying to please everyone. There is no power in imitation, only in authenticity. The moment you water yourself down to blend in, you have lost your flavor. You were not meant to be tasteless. You were meant to stand out, not through your volume, but through your value. You see, you don't need to push your way into greatness. You just need to become so refined, so excellent, so grounded in your divine assignment that the world cannot continue without you. That's what salt is. Indispensable. And here's what I want you to understand next. Salt doesn't change its composition because of pressure. Put it under heat. It doesn't melt. Put it in the storm. It doesn't dissolve until it's ready to serve. Salt remains salt. Pressure should not change who you are. It should reveal who you are. Stop letting hard times redefine you. Start using them to refine you. If the fire's been hot in your life lately, don't collapse. Give thanks. That's the temperature required for your next level. That's the heat that prepares you for preservation. That's the divine pressure that unlocks the potency within you. And once you've been through enough fire, you won't fear anything anymore. Because once you've been purified, once you've been tested and found true, you carry something that cannot be manufactured. It can only be earned. Character. And that, my friend, is the real salt of the earth. Let me take you even deeper now. Salt is one of the only elements that doesn't spoil. It can be passed down from generation to generation and still retain its power. And so should your values, your standards, your principles. What are you passing down? What will your children remember about you? Will it be your style or your soul? Will it be your trends or your truth? Stop building a life based on expiration dates. Start building on the eternal. Become the kind of person whose influence outlives their breath. Become the salt that seasons the future. Don't build a name. Build a legacy. Don't build fame. Build foundations. And if you're going to build something that lasts, build it on the salt of truth. This world doesn't need more influencers. It needs preservers. Men and women who understand that the greatest impact is not always seen, not always recognized, not always awarded, but it is always felt. You want to be unforgettable. Live a life so rooted in truth that everything you touch gets better. Every room you enter rises. Every word you speak cuts through confusion and brings clarity. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. But you must be pure. Pure in intention, pure in principle, pure in your pursuit of purpose. That's what gives you flavor. That's what makes people trust you, respect you, seek you out. Not because you're the loudest, but because you're the most grounded. People will always come back to salt, no matter how far they drift. No matter how sweet the lies of the world may seem, the soul craves what's real. The heart longs for what endures. And when all the sugar fades, when all the noise dies down, they'll be looking for something that still has meaning. And that something is you. You, if you decide to carry truth in a world of fiction. You, if you choose purpose over popularity. You, if you endure the fire and emerge refined. You, if you stop living like a decoration and start living like a necessity. Because salt, real salt, never begs to be noticed. It simply cannot be ignored. So I leave you with this. Be the one who doesn't just pass through this world, but preserves something in it. Be the one who seasons every place you step into with truth, with honor, with faith. Let your life be a quiet revolution, a force not easily seen but deeply felt. Stop diluting your essence to fit in. Stop trying to be sweet to be accepted. You were never meant to be sugar. You were meant to be salt, essential, eternal, unshakable. The world may not always applaud you, but it will need you. And in the end, when everything artificial fades, when every trend dies out, when the noise settles, only what is seasoned with truth will remain. Be that truth, be that salt. And never forget, your silence can be strength, your humility can be power, and your presence can change everything without making a sound.